Have you ever really tasted honeycomb? Well, either way, we're happy to have you. I'm Megan, and I'm the honey tasting expert with Pass the Honey Honeycomb. We're a small San Diego company that is giving you pure, unadulterated honeycomb to snack on, all while changing the standards of global honey production. I know, it sounds big time, so we'll focus on that project another day. I'm here to dive into the world of honeycomb tasting with you. When you get down to it, honeycomb is actually really similar to wine. It's stickier, sweeter, but just as complex. That's why Pass the Honey developed our personal tasting guide to help you dive into the world of honeycomb. We have our wheel here, along with our step-by-step directions to take you through everything honey tasting. Our goal here was getting you in touch with honey, because guess what? It's the real deal. It's the bee's knees. You get it? And we're here to take you through all 5 of your senses on a journey through honeycomb. Think about smell, for instance. You know, it's a piece of honey. It smells sweet, but there's so much more to it. If you can't smell something, if you can't taste it, that's fine. Don't force yourself to. Just trust your own palate and trust your gut. So a little more on taste, because it's obviously the favorite part in my book. We're gonna ask you to look at everything from, your flavors you're tasting, the aromas you're smelling, and then also about cool, complex things like bitterness and astringency, which sound like crazy big words, but they're actually not too hard to grasp once you get a little more into it. Bitterness is going to be more of what you're tasting. Think about your black coffee. And astringency is going to be more of how you feel. Think about eating a sour warhead. That thing dries your mouth out like no other. These 2 components actually make up what we call tannins in the wine world, but they can be applied to plenty of other foods and wines. Let's give it a try. Just after tasting it, I can tell you there's a slight bitterness to this honey that gives it almost a savory note. And the honeycomb itself is that waxy texture that gives you a little bit of astringency. All we're doing is telling you that, guess what? Honeycomb's a little more complex than you may have once thought before, but it's also a lot of fun when you dive into it. There's a whole world to explore when it comes to honey and this small tasting wheel alone. So go ahead, pass the honey. Join us at passthehoney.com to learn more about honey tasting and to explore your palate.